Alright, there's a video for 2HT about, well, first what you learned so far, and then exercise 14, which is about something new. First, what you learned so far, you learned how to calculate 6% of 70. So I'll show you how to do that. And there are three different ways to do this, so the way that you like the most you can use. First of all, what you can do is say that 6% is the same as 0.06. And the reason for that is because the definition of 1% means that's 1 out of 100. And 1 out of 100 is 0.01. So you can write down 6% as 0.06, and then you can multiply that with 70. And then you get 4.2. Now there's another way to calculate this. You can also take 70, and then you divide it by 100 to calculate 1%, and then you multiply it with 6. And then you also get 4.2. And there's also another way. You can also do 6 divided by 100, and then multiply that with 70. So I think this one makes maybe the most sense for people, because you can divide this by 100, you know what 1% is, and then you multiply it by 6. But this is shorter, so I advise you to use this method here. That's the best one, I think, right? But if you use any of these, it's going to be fine. Next example, how do you calculate what percentage 16 is out of 24? Well, there's a rule for this, and the rule is part divided by total times 100. So the part here is 16 and the total is 24. So you do part divided by total and then times 100, and then you can round it off. We need to round off to one decimal place always if you calculate percentages. So this is 66.7%. Then I'm going to go to this example here. An amount of 120 euros gets an 8% decrease. Calculate the new amount. Now this is what you do then. The 120 is the 100%, is the original number. But now there's an 8% decrease, so that's 92%. 92% is the same as 0.92, just like we did. 6% is the same as 0.06. This is the same as 0.92. What happens is you move the point 2 places, like 1, 2 places. And then we multiply that with 120. Now if you calculate that, you get 110 euros and 40 cents. And this is the answer for this exercise. This was a bit of a repetition of things you learned. And then I have exercise 14 here, which is going to be something new. And then we have 4 things that you should know, and later there might be something more. It says, for each of the cases, calculate the percentage increase. So if you take a look at this example, here we knew the percentage change. We knew it was an 8% decrease. Right? It could have been an 8% increase also, but in this case it was an 8% decrease. But here it's about an increase, and we want to know what is the percentage. So here we know the percentage, and here we have to calculate the percentage. Now there is a rule for this. I'm going to write down the rule here, and then hopefully you can memorize that. And the rule is new minus old. So I'll tell you what I mean by this in a moment. Divided by old times 100. So if you take a look at this example, it says an amount increased from 45 to 47.20. So this is the new amount, and this is the old amount. So this is what you do. You take the new amount, 47.20, and you subtract the old amount. And then you divide that by the old amount, and then you do that times 100. If you calculate it like that, then you will get the answer. And let me show you how to type this into your calculator, because there are multiple ways to type it in. Here I have a calculator. Let me just erase all of this. You might want to use this button over here, the button to get a fraction. See that? And then on the top I'm going to write down 47.2 minus 45, so new minus old. Then with the arrows I'm going to go down and then divide it by 45. And then with the arrows I'm going to go to the side and then times 100. And then we get the answer, which is 4.9%. There is another way to calculate this. If you don't want to use the fraction button, so you don't want to use this button here, then you can also do it like this. But then you have to use brackets. So then in brackets I'm going to do 47.2 minus 45, bracket closed, right? New minus old. And then divide that by old, and then do that times 100. And then we also get that. And if you want to do another way even, there's even a different way. You can also just calculate everything separately. So first, new minus old, enter, divided by old, enter, times 100, enter. So that's 4.9. So here we get 4.9%. Let me take a look at the next example here. Here we go from 18 euros to 18.90. So 18.90 is the new amount. 18 is the old amount. Divided by the old amount times 100. Now you can type that into your calculator like you just saw, right, with this example. And then here we get 5%. And then I only want to show you D. C you can do yourself, you just fill in the numbers here. But D is a bit different, because here they say the price of a 750 cinema ticket is increased by €1. So now the new price is $8.50. So they didn't tell you the new price in the story here. So there are two things you can do. You can either figure out what the new price is. I just told you it's $8.50. Let me write it down. The new price here is $8.50. So then you can do new $8.50 minus old divided by old times 100. Right? That's what you can do. But you can also say, well, we already know what new minus old is, because that's 1. So there's an alternative way to calculate this one, and that's 1 divided by 750. And then times 100. So just pick the one that that makes most sense to you. Either what is €1, how much percent is that out of 750, right? So then you do this. Or you do, well, we know the new amount now, and then new minus old divided by old times 100. If you calculate that, you get 13.3%. And we always round off percentages on 1 decimal place. Alright, so thank you for watching the video. I think this video was very helpful. Hopefully you agree with that. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.